So basically, when you sit next to a guru, right, like somebody who is evolved than what we are at this point of time, why do we start feeling that sense of bliss and ease when we sit next to them, or go to a place where they've meditated for like, because I still remember going to Virupaksha cave, which is Ramana Maharishi, where he meditated. And I still remember just sitting in the silence, in the dark, and crying for 10-15 minutes. I don't know why. But in the heart, it felt so calm, so peaceful, and so much at ease. Why does this happen?
Okay, I always go back to Ganga for an example, like, because I have learned so much from Ganga, right? Even the researchers recently said that Ganga is the purest water. Yeah. Like it is the only river that has the self-cleaning mechanism. And so whenever you go towards Ganga, you always take some of the Ganga water and bring it back home. And any auspicious event that is happening, or even on the daily basis, a lot of us during our puja sprinkle the Ganga water, right? And you believe that it is going to purify, right? That's nothing but just the pranic urja that water carries, right? So sadhana, any amount of sadhana, any person, who has transcended these samskaras, these bijas, and all of these chains that we as human are bound to or are constantly in fluctuation of, those who transcend that, their pranic urja becomes very, very strong. So much that it is no longer just contained in their body. It begins to spread out. It is said that a yogis whose Mooladhara chakra is active, right? Within the 3 kilometers, there's going to be absolute peace. Absolute peace. That's how the connection of their own pranic urja is with the Mahaprana, the universal urja. And they not only sit there, like how Ganga water sprinkled somewhere creates the purity in that area. It is believed that the whole area gets purified as soon as the Ganga water is being sprinkled. Likewise, because the pranic urja of the Ganga water is very high. A lot of sadhus have done sadhana, and water is one of such elements that captures most amount of pranic urja. Okay. Right? So lot of sadhana happens next to Ganga. That's one reason. Likewise, within us, all the elements purify. So a sadhu who has become at that level, someone who has transcended the fluctuation, becomes so pure, so full of that pranic urja that it spreads out everywhere. So even if you come in contact with the pranic urja, the sadhu must be sitting far away from there, but his urja can be felt from a certain distance. Right. You begin to feel the peace, you begin to feel the calm. So they are vibrating at that level. It is said in yoga multiple times, in spirituality multiple times, and even now science says that everything is energy.
Yes.
You're always vibrating.
Yes.
That's what. So now they are vibrating at such a high frequency that the place that they sit gets highly charged. It's also said about Shiva that why in the house of Shiva there is a Nandi, right? And then there is a rat also, right? And then there are snake also. So all sorts of animal live in harmony and peace. Okay. There is a Nandi. Nandi belongs to Shiva. To Shakti, there is also a lion usually, right? A tiger or a lion is represented as the vehicle of Shakti. And they live in harmony in the humble abode of Shiva.
It's because of their energy.
Yes. Okay. So it is said that like if you are into sadhana, trust me, you come in contact with their energy and you'll start crying immediately. Your heart will start melting. And even if you're not in sadhana, if you are in just the simple power of surrender, openness, you will instantly absorb that energy.
Right. Greesha, it's so beautiful you brought this term surrender, because when we speak about manifestation, when we speak about letting go, there's a lot of context that we give about surrendering, right? Surrendering is not giving up. Surrendering is you giving up your attachment to the outcome of what you want to manifest. So now when it comes to surrendering from a spiritual perspective, what does surrendering truly mean?
Surrendering when it comes to spiritual perspective is always trusting the fact that even the hardships are a fruit of God, are a gift of God. So when something good happens to us, we say we are very grateful, this is God's gift. Have you ever seen normal human beings talk about that the pain that I got is a God gift? The hardship that I got is a God gift. So when you say samarpan or surrender, it just simply means that anything that is happening to you internally and externally is nothing but the plan of God, not your plan. So the moment you start thinking about certain events in your life are your plan, that's where the surrender goes away. So surrender is very, and you'll see, even if people like us, papi like us, who say we are in surrender, we are not. We want to control everything in life as much as, the only difference is a sadhak is trying to surrender. Others are not even aware about it, other human beings, or sadhak is trying to surrender. And an enlightened being is in complete surrender.
So where is this need to surrender? Where is this need to control coming for all of us?
Fear.
Okay.
Always fear.
Okay.
The background of everything is fear. Think about your life. Any event where you felt disheartened, where you felt, failure, where you felt depressive, where you felt anxious, everything has something to do with fear. Fear of dying, fear of losing control, fear of failure, fear of this, fear of that. Fear comes in human evolution as a part of our instincts. It is a part of human instinct. And that is why the another thing is, mind does not actually differentiate between reality and imagination. We know that fact.
Yes.
That's why even if there is no fear, our mind creates it in our in this, in the pattern, the cyclical pattern of the thoughts, and therefore make you believe there is a fear, and therefore act you like you want to be in control. And when you don't get the control, you get angry, you get anxious. And that's when you begin to either fall into the well of depression or anxiety. That's what happens.
Right.
It's all a pattern.
Right.